Hello, everybody, and welcome to Neat Games. Today's episode is about our favorite thing in the game after Hydra. It's time to gear cleanse. And to make sure that I keep my sanity, we are going to be joined today by our favorite resident potato, SpudicusStew. Say hello, Spud.
Woo! Hello.
There he is. So this is going to be a explanation video for beginners. This is going to go over some of the basics that you need to know about how to cleanse your account. Now, obviously, every account is different. Now, the first kind of benchmark for all accounts is to try and get to Dragon 20. Because once you get to Dragon 20, you're farming 5 and 6 star gear, which means all 4 star can be gone. My account is not quite there yet. As you can see, it took me 8 minutes manual fight to beat stage 18, so I'm not quite there. But I'll be there soon, and that's when I'm going to just sell all 4 stars. But for now, I'm going to show you kind of the basis of how I sell 4 stars. Then we're going to talk about 5-star rares. And then we're going to begin the conversation of what you do after 5-star rares. So to start, this is going to be a beautiful thing for me because as you can see, I'm at 1163. We're approaching the 1300. We don't want that. So we're going to go to filter. We're going to go to rank and rarity. We're going to go to 4-star. And we're going to sell all. Okay. But before we actually sell all these, we're going to go into specific substats, specific sets and unclick them. And then we're going to go through those specifically right after. So the good sets, I'm not going to just, oh my God, more than I thought. I'm not going to just sell them right away because 4-star speed boots, for example, still have value for me. Anything with speed in the substat will still have value for me. Same with accuracy set. So like accuracy, lifesteal, speed, I'm going to take a look at quickly. And we're going to manually go through and sell the pieces that aren't complete trash. The amount of clicks is real. Relentless, we're probably going to keep as well. You guys know how I feel about Relentless. Perception will keep. Resilience will keep. I click with the force of 1,000 truths. Everything else, though, can go. I don't care about all the other sets. Even regen, I think I'm going to just let it go. Because the likelihood of me using 4-star regen that's not already rolled is pretty low. Like boots, I'll take a look at to see if they're speed boots. But even immunity, even shield, I think I'm just going to let all this stuff go. Even savage, I think I'm just going to let it all go. Stun, I'll probably. That's an attack percentage boot, so I can sell that. Toxic will go, everything will go. Spud, if you disagree with anything, please let me know. But I think even all the cruel I'm going to let go, all the immortal I'm going to let go.
For an early account, I agree.
I think I'm going to let it all go.
4-star needs to go.
Perception can go. So the reason why we want to let go of all of the 4-star is because you don't want to be spending silver upgrading this stuff to 16. And I've talked about this in previous videos. You want to use your silver. Speed boots? No. Speed in the substat? Yes. You want to use your silver to upgrade level 5-star and 6-star gear because that's what's going to give you the most value. Even pieces that aren't perfect can still be used on faction wars down the line. So you really want to prioritize the higher star gear, which I've talked about a lot in my stream when I do my takeovers, even in the beginner basics video about how to gear champion. So this is the first level. We're going to sell 292 pieces of items. Now we're going to go through and look at the specific sets, and I'll explain kind of the logic on what you want to keep. So even though it's 4-star, and I'm not crazy about it, if it has speed in the substat, I'm going to keep it. Because if I roll it and it hits speed multiple times, it could end up being used for a speed lead, for a speed debuffer in the arena, or whatever the case may be. And even in faction wars and stuff like that, because as we know, speed is kind of the king in the early game. So we're literally just, anything that's rolled, I'll just leave it. Anything that's not rolled, I'm literally just looking for speed in the substat. If it has speed in the substat, I keep it. If it doesn't, we yeet it into oblivion. So this one is a legendary, so it still has a chance of hitting speed, so we'll keep it. That one's a low roll on speed, so I probably should let it go, but I'm a hoarder. When I talk about a low roll, there is a chance that on any piece, the percentage that lands here, see how this one is 4, but this one is 4. Where was it? There was one that was 3. See, this one is 3. So it can be, depending on the star, it has a different range of the number that it will start at, and then every time you roll it and it hits the roll, there's also a range of what it can hit. So I know the numbers for sure on the 6-star pieces. I don't know them for sure on 4-star. I imagine it's just one lower. So a 6-star can be 4, 5, and 6, for example, on speed. On crit rate, I believe it can be 5, 6, or 7. Not on the roll, on the land, on the starting. Maybe not even. Can it be 7? I don't know. Find out next time.
6-star crit rate, I think it can be 7.
I think it can be 7. Okay, we continue. Speed, it has speed, we keep it. Speed, it has speed, we keep it. Accuracy can go, blah, blah, blah. So this is kind of the logic of how you cleanse. And as you progress into the game and you have more options, you can be kind of more specific. I see now that there's something else I didn't do, so we're going to do that in a minute. So as you get more pieces in the game, as you progress and you start farming 5 and 6-star gears, then you can kind of be more brutal with your gear cleanses. So for example, on my account on the main now, I'm at a point where if it's a 4 speed on like a 6-star piece, I'm probably just going to sell it right away because it has to roll really, really well. So it has to roll and land on speed, and it has to land a high roll on speed for it to be a usable piece. I'd sooner rather just sell it and not waste the time, effort, and silver and reevaluate after. So if it's a speed boot, I keep it. If it's anything else, I eat it. Straight eat. Eat to the bin just like Yaga. Okay, so that's another 35 pieces gone. Now I realized that there's something else I didn't do. So this is the first cleanse that you should do. Boot, chest, glove. Sorry, boot, chest, glove. Nailed it. Flat stat HP, flat stat attack, flat stat defense in the main. Okay? Again, select all and sell. And we're going to go through the individual pieces. If they have speed in the substat, there's a chance that, again, this could be used for a very specific use case. Even though it is a flat stat attack, if this triple rolls speed, it's possible that I could use this on a speed lead in arena or in tag team arena or something like that. So we're going to leave it. No speed here, it goes. Speed here, we keep it. No speed. Speed. Speed here, we keep it. Actually, I'm going to sell it because I already have 2 other flat stat gloves. So, like, likelihood I'll use one of those 2 before I use that. This one doubled crit rate, so there's a potential chance that I could use it one day. It's already rolled. We'll keep it. Crit damage goes. Speed, we'll keep it. This is not a speed boot, obviously, so everything else likely is going to go. Like, there's what we call stacked stats. So, like, if an accuracy piece has accuracy in it, it could be viable. This hurts me that I have this much flat stat relentless, but it's going to go because I'm not going to use this. Right? Like, I should just let it go. Maybe the 6 stars I can keep.
Relentless is a set where you still need good
stats
other than speed.
Yeah, so we're going to let it go. Destroy, we're going to let it go. Toxic, we're going to let everything else we're going to let go. Just perception we'll consider if it has accuracy or speed in the substat. Maybe, but even still, the likelihood that I'm going to use this is very low. I'll keep this one, but probably...
Flat stat on boots should always go because they either need to be speed or they need to be percentages. Like, you're not going to save a substat of speed when you could just have a speed main.
Yeah, so these are going to go. Like, later in the game, for specific use cases, again, there's some potential chance. But for where we are and the discussion that we're having now for the early game accounts, let them go. Let them go. Okay, that's gone. Now I want to have a quick little discussion about resist and accuracy chests. Okay, so 4 stars, they can go. 4 stars can go if they're not rolled. But 5 stars, I want to explain the value of a 5-star chest, and in specifically this chest. Why this chest? Oh, okay, accuracy, that's fine. But resist. I probably will have a couple resist chests that have been rolled, or they're probably on somebody. Faction Wars, okay? On the Faction Wars bosses, especially stage 10, stage 7, there are certain advanced quests that you need to complete where you have to kill a Faction Wars boss. And if you fight against that Faction Wars boss, there's a chance that they will get you into a cycle where they're constantly provoking you or fearing you, which means you don't get an opportunity to use your skills, which means you can't actually win the fight. Just by throwing on a resistance chest and maybe a couple other pieces with some resist on it, you can actually start dodging those fears and those provokes and allow you to progress through that faction. And we've talked about the importance of Faction Wars and why you want to try and push your factions to ideally somewhere around stage 13 or better as soon as possible, so you can start farming legendary materials to allow yourself to forge the most valuable set in the game for early, mid, and even in some cases late game accounts. Perception. This is such a versatile set. It has so much value in arena for your speed and debuffers. in Faction Wars, obviously, itself, because you need speed and debuffs and all sorts of other things. In Hydra, for accuracy, speed, resistance, in all of your dungeons. Like, on my main account, my top champions are in triple perception sets. Not all of them, but some of them.
Even Clan Boss, a lot of my teams early on used
100%.
tons of perception.
100%. Because you're getting accuracy, which is incredibly important on anybody who needs the ability to debuff, which a lot of people, like your poisoners and your decreased attackers and your decreased defense, your HP burners. And then you're getting the speed bonus as well. So to get that in a 2-piece set is so valuable for early game accounts. And I strongly, strongly recommend. This is why I say don't feed your rares and don't feed your epics on early game accounts, because you're going to need to progress in Faction Wars. So there's a chance that just with your rares and epics, you can do this a decent amount. And then once you get better epics and legendaries and people who can replace them, great. Then you can start fooding your duplicates and stuff like that. Rares, not epics. But even still, I really strongly recommend not fooding those, because they will have value in Faction Wars and even in Doom Tower secret rooms and stuff like that down the road. Again, we're getting off track, but I just wanted to do a quick little by the way, so you guys understand the importance of why you need to push Faction Wars. Okay? Now we're going to talk about, since we've done, I think, our 4 stars pretty much are gone. Like, I'm not going to make you sit and watch me do this, but basically, anything that doesn't have accuracy here, same logic. I'm going to sell it. Because that's the only time, really, I'm going to bring in an accuracy set, is because I need more accuracy. So if I can get that stacked stat, then it's valuable to me. Maybe I'll keep speed as well. But, like, really, on a 4-star, you have to be very stringent. So, like, this is a 3-speed. I'm going to get rid of it. 3-speed, I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, so, like, this is a whiff. I'm going to get rid of it. Maybe if that double roll speed, it will have some value. But this is the logic of how you gear cleanse. So I'm not going to make you watch me do all of this. In lifesteal, same logic applies. The valuable stats that you're going to have in lifesteal are going to be speed, crit rate, and accuracy, most likely. If you have HP percentage and defense percentage as well, could have some value, because most people use lifesteal as a way to improve their clan boss until they have an unkillable or a block damage team of some sort. So I'm not going to make you watch me do these, but understand the value of stacked stats. Now hold on for me for 1 second. I'm going to pull up my good friend JR Star. Let me find the thing. I should have had it ready, but, you know, being prepared, imagine. JR Star, fellow Raid Shadow Legends streamer. I'm going to throw him a shout out. He has and I'm gonna link in the description this screen. He has a little guide, okay? So this is only a guideline to specific stats to aim for while cleansing your gear. This is not a requirement, and it's more so a guide. So it's just giving you the basic ideology of the whole stacked stat thing that I mentioned. So for example, he's saying in an accuracy set, which is a 2-piece set, which is plus 40 accuracy, accuracy and speed are the main things to look for, which is what I just said, right? So it goes through each set and tells you where your kind of logic should be and what you're focusing on when you're cleansing. Now this applies obviously very differently when you're looking at 4-star gear versus 5-star gear versus 6-star gear. It applies differently depending on who, where you are in your account. But this is kind of just a good overview guideline just for you to understand as a player, okay, I want to cleanse this set because I have a tremendous amount of it. What should I prioritize? Where should I put my focus? How do I know what pieces are okay to let go of? So I will definitely link this in the chat. In the YouTube description. I'll also do a shout out to my good friend Jay Arstar. He has a YouTube. He has a Raid Shadow Legends Twitch account. He's a great guy. Okay, and we're back. The next thing we should talk about, Spud, is probably 5-star and then the bad sets, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So 5-star rares would be the next place that you want to go to start selling. And the easiest way to know which 5-star rares you should sell, right? Because a rare will only have 2 substats. So this one, with crit rate and crit damage, not bad. Flat stat attack and speed. If it rolls on flat stat attack, it's not great. But because it's a crit damage glove, that's probably okay. Because how many crit damage gloves do I have? I have 9 that are 5-star, and I have 20 in total. So, like, that's where you have to kind of understand where your account is. So, like, I'm not going to sell any of my crit damage gloves. But 5-star rare with a substat of any combination of HP attack, defense, resist, okay? any combinations of these two, so HP and attack, attack and defense, HP and defense, resist and HP, resist and attack, resist and defense, these most likely can be sold if they're not a speed boot. And I'm going to show you kind of my logic on why that exists. So, for example, the first thing you'll see is I have a level 16 piece. Why do I have this piece? Because it's actually an attack percentage chest, and it first double rolled on crit rate percentage, and there was speed. So the original two stats were actually really solid, and the roll was pretty good too. Then when I rolled it to 12, it hit flat stat HP, rip. Then it rolled to 16, it hit flat stat attack, rip. It's okay, that is what it is. But this piece, because it's a 5-star attack percentage chest in a good set with a double crit rate roll and speed, this is going to have use on my account for a long time. It's likely going to be used in faction wars or on some sort of a nuker in arena or something like that. So I'm definitely not selling this piece. But if we go through the pieces now, because look, there's 4 pieces here with this combination, we're going to look. So this is a 5-star HP percentage glove with HP and attack flat stat. So it's not a great glove, so I'm going to sell it. Attack percentage with 2 flat stats. Not great. Going to sell it. Attack percentage, sell it. Gone. Next. Now we do HP and defense. Same logic. Is this a speed boot? It's not. Buy. Speed boot, we keep it. Buy. And this is kind of the next level of how you cleanse your gear. Savage, crit damage, I'm going to keep it because we saw that I don't have much crit damage. Attack percentage with no good substats, gone. This piece, double crit rate roll. That's why we kept it. That's why we're okay with it. What did I do? Defense, I think I did that. HP and attack, I did. Attack and defense, I did. So now we do the resist combinations. Now, resist is a very valuable stat as you progress in the game. But most likely, you're not going to be using it on 5-star rares. You're going to want at least 6-star rares or your 5-star epics, 5-star legendaries, 6-star epics, 6-star legendaries, that kind of thing. So, again, on an early account like this, I'm okay to get rid of this kind of stuff. Because, like, even if this double rolls resistance, what am I going to use it for, really? And if it rolls 1 resistance, 1 HP, it's worthless to me. So I'm just going to sell all of these pretty much right away, as long as it's not a speed boot. Speed boot I'll keep because 5-star speed boots will have value for me. Accuracy chest I'll probably keep because I may need them. I need to look at my accuracy to understand how much. But if I'm doing anything wrong and you want to yell at me, please let me know.
No, you're doing good so far. I mean, resistance is a very important stat, especially the later you get, but if it's on something that has another flat stat, especially 5-star rare, which isn't that great, it's not going to have a whole lot of value. Like resistance, you might want speed, you might want tank stats like HP percent and defense percent.
Right.
But resistance with a flat stat is not great.
I'm keeping this one because of the same logic. This is a crit rate glove, and it's a 5-star in a good set. So there's a likelihood that this will have some sort of usage on my account, because until you get into the later game, putting everyone in crit damage gloves is not realistic. So like even on my nukers who are in crit damage gloves, I don't have them crit cap. Like it's hard for me to get them to crit cap with good speed and good other stats. So like for me, my Kale, I want him to have high accuracy. I want him at 85% crit rate so that his A2 is going to crit. But like I would like him with higher speed, but because he's the nuker in my arena team, this is actually where I need him to be. And, you know, that kind of logic applies with everybody. But like even somebody like, you know, my Royal Guard, same thing. I forced him in crit damage gloves because I want him to hit hard, but his crit cap isn't even close to where it needs to be. Because it's hard on an early account to get all of the crit rate rolls where you need it to be. Right? Same thing here. Crit damage, she has basically all my best crit rate because she has 70% crit rate only needed. So it makes it a lot easier. But her accuracy is too low because I'm only using her on Spider 10 right now. So eventually I'll have to 6-star her, get her an accuracy banner, redo the gear again. So this is kind of the cycle that you have to go to. So on pieces of gloves like crit rate, where I only have 13 on the entire account, and crit damage, where I only have 20 on the entire account, you're in no rush to sell this stuff. The idea of a cleanse, especially on an early game account, get rid of all the garbage. Get rid of all the stuff that really you don't want to use and won't use in the future. But stuff that you may use one day in faction wars or in specific use cases, keep them for now. And then as you progress in the game, as you get more gear, then you can kind of do this cycle again, you know, a month or 2 down the road. Okay? So 5-star rares with the double flat stats we discussed. You can also do the same logic with 5-star epics, where you do the same combination of flat stats, and then you look at the piece. So, for example, this one has speed. So if I roll it to 4, I don't have RSL helper open, imagine. If I roll it to 4, and it lands on speed, then I can roll it to 8. But because it already landed on flat stat, you're going to roll it to 8 now, and let's say it hits speed, so then you're going to roll it to 12. Now you're already using a decent amount of silver on a piece that's not even that good. So this is where you have to be careful. So on epic pieces, what I suggest is you roll it to 4. If it hits the non-flat stat, then good. Roll it to 8, maybe it becomes a viable piece. But the second it hits the attack or HP, or, in this case, like this piece, I would just probably sell outright. I'm going to keep it because it's in a good set of Relentless, and it might have value for me. Right? But if it has these combinations and it's missing the quote-unquote decent stat, right? Like this is a perfect example. Now this piece is kind of in limbo because it hit one of the percentages, but the other substats on it are pretty trash. So like, what do I do with it? I keep it until I have to actually reevaluate. But you're kind of putting yourself into a trap when you do this. So I'm trying to look for an example where there's one like this, right? If I roll this and it hits crit rate, I'll keep it, because there's a chance that it could double or triple roll crit rate. But if it hits defense or attack, really I should just sell it, because the likelihood of me keeping it is pretty low. So it hit crit rate. Now we roll it again. This is a perfect example. Welcome to Raid Shadow Legends, where they're going to torture you. Now it's going to hit a flat stat, and I'm probably going to keep it on my account. See, this is kind of the trap. So there is logic in selling, just outright selling, any 5-star epic that has these combinations of stats. Because, especially once you progress in the game. For now, for early players, it's okay, because they still might have viability on Faction Wars champions and things like that. That's why this would be like my next level of cleanse that I do on this account. But for now, we're going to get away from epics. We want to focus on just getting rid of the garbage. So we talked about all the 4 stars, that's garbage. We talked about 5-star rares with 2 flat stat attacks, that's garbage. Now I want to talk about 5 stars in bad sets, okay? And when I say bad sets, I mean bad sets to keep stuff in a 5-star rare. Later in the game, anything that's a 6-star epic or a 6-star legendary, really any piece can have viability of rolling well with good substat. But on an early account, like this account, when we look at 5-star rares in these specific sets, they probably can go if they don't have 2 really, really good substats. So for example, Life, which is an HP plus 15%, is a significantly worse set than Immortal, which is HP plus 15% plus an extra heal. Then you look at Offense, attack 15%. Cruel is the better version of this because it's attack 15% plus it ignores 5% of enemy defense. So Life and Offense are not great sets. So unless it's a perfect piece, like I would probably sell it. And if we looked on JR Star's guide, when you're building a Life set, because it's an HP plus 15% bonus, likely what you're looking for in this set is HP percentage. But because these stats kind of go together, if I roll double crit rate on this piece, it could have viability on my account. So I'm going to keep it. Whereas this piece, crit damage, we talked about that. I'm going to keep it because I don't have many crit damage pieces. Offense. Right? This is a defense percentage glove with 2 attack percentage substats. And it's in the offense set, which is an attack percentage piece. So like, there's no logic in keeping this piece. It's actually counter logic. It's like keeping attack percentage pieces in defense. Right? This has speed and accuracy. These are good substats. I'll keep it. Speed is obviously a very good set, so we can keep it. Critical rate is a good set for specific use case strategies where you need to get that bonus crit rate, like on a Cold Heart or something like that, so I can keep it. Crit damage is okay. Accuracy is okay. Resistance isn't a bad set by any means, so I'll keep it. Lifesteal we keep. Fury. This is an example of a set that is not great. There's very specific champions that will get value from Fury, like a Leo or a Skull Crown. Am I missing anybody else?
Even in an unkillable team with man-eaters.
Sure. In an unkillable team in Clan Boss, this could be valuable. But again, because it's a 5-star rare, probably not going to be great. So I'm going to go through, and if I don't see stats that make sense in Fury, which in this case, I guess it would be the damage stats. You'd probably want crit rate, crit damage, maybe attack percentage, but probably crit rate and crit damage is the safest. So if I don't see those ones, like I'll keep this because it's speed and crit damage. This one has just crit damage, so I'll get rid of it. Speed and attack, like it's a 5 roll on speed, so I'll keep it. Maybe as an offset it'll work for me. This can go 5 stat again. So I'm going to roll. These ones that have the speed and the substat, I'm going to roll them to 4. And if they hit speed, I'll roll them to 8. And if they hit speed again, I'm going to keep them. But if they go 1 and 1, I'm probably going to end up selling them. Yeah, like I'm going to, like I could potentially keep this. But again, I'd rather this be a 6-star piece. Or a 5-star piece with better substats like crit rate and crit damage. Confirm?
Yeah. I mean, you do want to keep attack percentage, defense percentage, and HP percentage like on boots. They do have value, but that piece specifically is not great.
You want to be more kind of stringent and more restrictive with those pieces because you're only using them on a subset of champions in the specific use cases. So for example, I'll give you an example of where I use attack percentage boots. I use them on my Anax in my clan boss because he can have 146 speed for my speed tune. I use them on Skullcrown and Sinesha in Arena because they're part of a blender team. So that means somebody with higher speed has an ally attack and they're bringing them into the fight so they don't need speed. And in specific use cases like that. But in most scenarios, I'd say in probably 90% of your account, you're going to be in speed boots anyways. So for the boots that you're keeping in HP percentage, an HP nuker like a Magnar, defense percentage, a defense nuker like a Solus, or attack percentage, your Trundas and your attack percentage nukers, you're going to really want the top tier pieces, the ones that are 6-star, so that you're getting the 60% bonus instead of 50%. And you're going to want them with the right substats, like crit rate, crit damage, speed, or whatever else is needed in that build. Okay? Dazed is another example of a bad set. Sorry, go ahead.
You can also keep HP percentage and defense percentage boots and stuff for like champs like Vogoth, who just need lots of HP, or champs like that who can do their job at a slow speed, who just need to be very tanky.
And there are a ton of use cases like this, but we're not going to go through every single champion that can do that because we'll... Come on, this is going to be a long video already. Dazed, okay? This is simply a worse version of a stun set. Because they can wake up from sleep. They can't wake up from a stun. So Dazed is... It's just not a good set. Straight up. It's one of the bad sets. So unless it has really good substats, I'm probably just going to yeet it into the oblivion. So, like, on a Dazed set, again, you probably want crit rate, crit damage, maybe speed as viability. But, like, you know, this piece, the only way I'm going to keep it is if it double rolls on crit rate. This piece, I'm just going to sell.
The likelihood of you completing a Dazed set is very low.
Yeah, like, so
you're looking for offset pieces.
100%. So I'm not keeping this piece because I want to create a Dazed set. I'm keeping this piece because if it double rolls on crit rate, it could get me to like 15% crit rate, which actually could have value on my account, as you saw when I was showing you my crit damage nukers. Right? So anything that has crit rate or speed, I'll probably keep. Everything else, I'll probably yeet into the oblivion. So this is a 4 speed, so the likelihood that I use it is pretty low, but it could roll better. Crit rate I'll keep. Speed I'll keep. Crit rate I'll keep. Speed I'll keep. And this is only on the assumption that it actually is going to hit this roll when I roll it. So I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch me roll every single piece, but this is the logic. I'm going to roll it to 4. If it hits crit rate, I keep it. If it hits HP, I'm selling it right away. I'm not going to roll it to 8 and hope for a 1 and 1. Like, that's not what's going to provide value on my account. Speed, like, I don't want to keep it because it's only a 4, but I will, because you always want to give yourself the opportunity and the option, and the silver cost that it costs you to roll something to 4 is very low. Like, you'll still net positive silver by selling it after rolling to 4. And I think you break even at 8. So it's okay if you want to sit there and spend your time. So this can go, this will keep, this can go, this will keep, go, keep. For damage, I'm going to keep.
You normally want to be a little bit easier on the bottom row because you're not, like on the top row, they can only have one main stat. Weapons can only have flat attack as the main stat. But for the bottom row, they can have a lot of different main stats, like gloves can have crit damage or crit rate, and they can also have HP percentage or defense percentage or attack percentage or all those flats.
Exactly.
So there's a lot more use cases for gloves. There's a lot of different possibilities for gloves. So you'll typically be lacking in those.
And this is a perfect example. This is why I'm keeping this piece, because it's a 5-star defense percentage chest with crit rate and crit damage. This might have viability as an offset piece for me, so I'm not going to sell it. First, buy. Frost, buy. Frost is not a good set. Very specific use case. So again, why am I keeping this piece? Probably because it double rolled something. Yeah, it double rolled HP percentage. Again, not amazing. This whiffed on resistance, so I'm gonna sell it. So Frost set. What are you looking for? I mean, logically, you would want to do like resistance and that kind of a strategy. But like, yeah, but like, I don't care about this set, so I'm going to use the same logic that I've been using for the rest of my pieces. I'm looking for a high roll on crit rate or speed, or I'm going to get rid of it. Because otherwise, I'm going to put it on a. I'm going to find a better piece that does the same job in a different set.
Right. Or like I personally used Frost set a few times in Faction Wars, but
Yeah.
Frost set comes from Dragon, and you probably farm a lot of Dragon, which means you have 5-star epics, you have 5-star legendaries, you even have 6 stars maybe.
Yeah.
So 5-star rares are like the bottom of the barrel, so unless it's a really great piece, you probably don't need to keep it.
Like there are pieces here that I could keep because they had like, you know, HP and defense percentage. Like this is not a bad shield by any means, but like I probably have the equivalency of this piece in a better set. So like, what's the point of me keeping it? Move on with your lives. Anything that's a high roll and has decent chance of giving me what I'm looking for eventually down the road, then okay. If it has a decent roll and it's paired with another decent substat, okay, that's fine also. But like, don't be a hoarder. Don't hold on to things just for the sake of holding them. You're the grind in this game. You're constantly going to be farming more gear, and especially right now where I am in the game, like I'm soon going to get to Dragon 20. So when I get to Dragon 20, then I can be way more brutal about what I'm going to let go, because I'm going to farm specifically 5 and 6-star gears, and I'm going to be looking for them in the better sets. And as you progress in Doom Tower, as you progress in Clan Boss, you get the opportunity to get other pieces of gear that can replace the worst sets also, right? Like you'll get better immortal pieces, you'll get better cruel pieces. When you start farming Doom Tower hard, you'll get a better version of lifesteal in Bloodthirst, right? You'll get perception, you'll get resilience, which is better than defense. You'll get, you know, all sorts of guardian, which is great, lethal, which is another version of savage. Like you'll get the access to better sets down the road. So on these bad sets, you really need to be a little bit more specific in what you're keeping, and just, you know, be a little bit strict, because you don't want to be doing this all the time. So go through it once in a while. Anything that's not a speed boot, I'm just selling outright. Frenzy is another not great set, very specific for specific champions. So again, unless it has really good substats, just gonna sell it. But you can talk about what champions Frenzy.
I don't see Frenzy a lot. I do see it on champs like the possible case of like more to Macabre. I've seen people put Frenzy in. I know champs like Tuhanarok or Doom Priest, who you want them getting their turns for their passive more. Um, Champs like that. It's a
Yeah,
very, very niche set.
very use case. Okay, regen I'm not going to look at. Immunity I'm not going to look at. Shield I'm not going to look at. Relentless I'm not going to look at. Savage I'm not. Even destroy has viability in certain aspects of the game. So like right now I don't need to cleanse this. I'll be fine. I've sold a lot of gear already. Stun is good. Toxic is good. Taunting, like 5-star rare, yeah, you probably don't need it. Couple champions, maybe now on this new legendary champion Deliana, you can use it for Hydra, and like there's specific use cases, but like most people at this stage of the game, if you're watching this video to learn how to gear cleanse at this level of your account, Taunting ain't where it at. Okay, Avenging, not where it's at. So the only reason I'm going to keep it is for speed and crit rate, because those are the stats that I'll need on everybody.
And like even going back to the topic of taunting, like you won't be realistically using it until you get into later into the mid or late game,
Yeah.
and by then you should have 6
Epics,
stars and
legendaries,
epics
yeah,
and legendaries.
yeah.
So 5-star rares don't
Not
have a lot
with
of value.
not the answer for you. And like I could keep all of the pieces in with accuracy in the substat the same way I'm doing speed and crit rate, but again, I've been farming so much dragon because I know that's where I need to live. I have a ton of accuracy sets. So like if I'm looking for accuracy, that's where I'm going to find it. In a 2-piece set, in accuracy, with accuracy in the substat, my accuracy skyrockets. Or, you know, because I'm getting towards the faction area where I can start doing perception stuff, which is where the dream really lives. So anything in these quote-unquote not great sets, and like Retaliation also is not a great set, but there are lots of options of, not lots, there are some options on champions who has more viability. So I'll leave that one off. See, this one's not terrible. Not terrible. Not terrible. Not terrible. Not terrible. The resistance, so I'll keep it. It's resistance, so I'll keep it. It's accuracy, so I'll keep it. Speed, I keep. Stalwart has some viability in Clan Boss, so I'll leave it. Reflex has some viability. Curing, probably not. I don't even need to look at it. I mean, I should look at it. I don't have the, I have no trouble.
I mean, it's really not a great set.
It's not, but same logic applies. If it has crit rate, if it has speed, I'd want to roll it and see if I can improve the speeds on my champions. That has value to me. Like crit damage with substat crit rate, beautiful. I shouldn't sell that. Rule's fine, Immortal's fine, Divine Offense, Critical Rate, Divine Life Steal. Like, I'm going to keep these because I've cleansed a ton on my account. Like, we were at 1100. I'm at 660. I don't need to cleanse more. I'm fine. I can keep farming gear for a long time now. So hopefully this gave you a little bit of insight into how to cleanse your gear on an early-ish game account. Like, I'm just to give you an idea of where I'm at, I'm on day, that's not where you check your days. I'm on day 70-ish, 69. Nice.
Nice.
I'm in gold 4 because arena is broken. You just sit here and refresh and just pick on the free wins. Okay? Arena is broken. Anybody who tells you anything else is silly. I'm literally, guys, look at my account. This is a full free-to-play account. We have a whopping 537,000 player power. I only had 2 champions at level 60 until today, where I 60'd Zargala. Okay? So literally, I had a basic speed team. Granted, okay, yes, I pulled Lysandra at the beginning of the game. I was lucky. But, like, my speed isn't anything crazy. It's 255. Really nothing crazy. I was running your standard arena nuke team while I was in silver until I pulled Zargala. My standard arena nuke team being this. So Lysandra in the speed lead, which can be replaced by High Cthulhu, into attack up, into defense down, into nuke. Since I got Zargala, I switched it to this variation of the same team. Right? Nothing crazy here. Did I get really lucky on my first few epics that I pulled? Yeah. Can I fuse Rosin already? You goddamn right I can. You goddamn right I can. Look at it. Chat, we can fuse Rosin. Day 69. Okay, we're not going to do it. We're going to wait till stream to do that so everybody can bask and share in the beauty that will be Rosin. But the point that I'm trying to make is just by focusing your effort in the right areas of the game, you can progress pretty quickly. So, like, I put my effort into challenges. I put my effort into missions. I put my effort into farming the campaign and getting more 6 stars, farming the arena, progressing my faction wars. Like, I'm at 207 stars on faction wars. I don't know if that's good for where I am. It doesn't seem terrible, right? I do my tag team stuff. I'm buying Drex fragments whenever I remember, right? We throw defenses on tag teams so that we can get free wins here, right? You just pick on the free wins. So as long as you put your efforts and your focus in the correct place, you'll progress through the game. And my goal right now, and this is kind of where I'm going back this conversation, is to get to Dragon 20 as fast as possible so I can farm the good gear in these sets. The top 3 are the most important, right? Then I can start selling all 4 stars without even thinking. I want to progress my Spider. I've been living in Spider 10. I haven't even tried to progress because the likelihood of me beating 16 is pretty low. And if you watch my stream, you know Spider 10 is where you go because you have an 80% chance of getting a 5-star on Spider 10. So there is no point in putting your focus really anywhere else. Missions, challenges, progress your dragon, progress your spider, and just do that circle until you've got a lot of 60s that you can continue progressing your account. Anyways, I think that's long enough of the video. This is probably running around 40 minutes if I had to take a guess on gear cleansing. I hope this helped. It helped me because I just got myself some silver. Ooh, baby. And it's clan versus clan. Ooh, baby. I'm about to carry. I'm about to fuse Rosin. I'm about to roll up a bunch of gear to 16. I'm about to farm a bunch of spider. I'm about to do some champion training. we're about to get a lot of points. Anyways, thank you, Spud. Thank you for hanging out and being a part of this video. I'm sorry for talking over you all the
Not a
time,
problem.
but I'm sure you're used to it
No,
by
it's all
now.
good.
I love potatoes.
Woo! Potatoes.
We'll
Potatoes
see
are
you next
life.
time. I'll be streaming. Catch the link in the description. I'm going to link JR Star's YouTube videos and his guide if you guys ever need a spot to check for that guideline. And that's all there is to it. I love you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.